news and no pictures of Harry R. Women liberationists and Jackie Onassis blowing her nose. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb or Francis Scott Keys, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, Engelbert Humperdinck, or The Rare Earth. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be right back after a message about a white tornado, white lightning, or white people. You will not have to worry about a dove in your bedroom, the tiger in your tank, or the giant in your toilet bowl. The revolution will not go better with coke. The revolution will not fight germs that may cause bad breath. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live. You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal. The revolution will not get rid of the nubs. The revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner because the revolution will not be televised, brother. There will be no pictures of you and Willie Mae pushing that shopping cart down the block on the dead run or trying to slide that color TV into a stolen ambulance. NBC will not be able to predict the winner at 8:32 on report from 29 districts. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail with a brand new process. There will be no slow motion or still life of Roy Wilkins strolling through Watts in a red, black, and green liberation jumpsuit that he has been saving for just the proper occasion. Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction will no longer be so damn relevant, and women will not care if Dick finally got down with Jane on Search for Tomorrow, because black people will be in the street looking for a brighter day. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no highlights on the 11 o'clock news and no pictures of Harry R. Women liberationists and Jackie Onassis blowing her nose. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb or Francis Scott Keys, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, Engelbert Humperdinck, or The Rare Earth. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be right back after a message about a white tornado, white lightning, or white people. You will not have to worry about a dove in your bedroom, the tiger in your tank, or the giant in your toilet bowl. The revolution will not go better with coke. The revolution will not fight germs that may cause bad breath. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live.
That's it.
The revolution will not be televised. What's going on, y'all? It's Let's Talk. You already know how I do. I bring some people on that you might not know, that you might not understand, that they're doing the work. They're out there working hard for our people, for our community, and trying to like support different movements and do different things just to get our youth in the right direction. And I got some good people today that I want to introduce y'all to. So to my right, Rodney.
How you doing, brother?
And Rodney, I'll tell you how I bumped into Rodney. Rodney was actually out at all the protests, and I'm like, who is this brother with the I Can't Breathe tattoo? But I had seen you getting it done. Did you put it on Instagram? I mean, on Facebook where you was getting it done?
I did, yeah.
All right, so I must have been your Facebook friend for a minute. So I had seen him getting it done, and I'm like, damn, this guy from Houston must be crazy, but he's from Rhode Island. So we're gonna talk to him, and then I got to my left Branford. Branford, what's your last name?
Davis.
Branford Davis. He actually runs. We're gonna find out what his actual title is for John Hope, but I know y'all are familiar with John Hope. A lot of y'all came from John Hope summer camp. Don't play around. A lot of y'all know who Miss Joanne is. Don't play that game. Toey and everybody else that was at John Hope. So he is what's the official name, your title for at John Hope?
I'm the executive director.
Executive director. I want to make sure your mic is up.
I think it's up. Y'all can hear me.
I'm gonna turn it up some more. Yeah.
Branford Davis. Woo.
All right. One day I'll have an engineer. I'll be able to pay an engineer one of these days. It can't be everything. Yeah. So the executive director.
Yes, sir.
All right. I actually want to talk about John Hope a little bit. How my history with John Hope. I actually was a camp counselor. It was like one of my first jobs. I was a camp counselor for summer camp, I think twice. I may have gotten fired, though. I ain't even going to lie to you. I probably showed up late or whatever. I may have gotten fired. But I definitely was a camp counselor. And then, because I was so cool with everybody over there, I actually threw my first concert in the basketball gym. It was with this group called Code 5 out of Boston. And they were signed to this collaboration label, which was Fabulous's label, Missy's label, DJ Clue's label. It was called WEA, Warner Electric Atlantic. So they all collaborated to make this label to get people out there. And I actually brought them down. It was my first sold-out concert, and I'm going to tell you how I promoted it. I went to every boys club. I went to every gym, every after-school program with a VCR tape.
Yep.
And I made them sit the kids down, and I took the VCR tape, and I made them watch the video, because how the labels did it back in the day for all you youngsters out there is they used to send you records and videos on VCR tape. So they sent me the VCR tape. I will put it in, and I sat them kids down. They watched it, and then I sold the tickets. I think the tickets were like $10 if I remember correctly. And that group, Code 5, ended up being another group called XL, and they didn't actually get anywhere. But they were, I'm talking like these kids, they were kids. Yep. They were like a new edition of their time. So if you look them up, Code 5 on YouTube, you'll hear their main song was "What's Your Name, Girl." But I had brought them to John Hope, and that was my very first concert I promoted. I think I made $200-300. I thought I was rich. It was craziness. But John Hope is definitely in my DNA, and I'm hoping that the people that are watching, that it's in their DNA, can get to know who you are better. So let's talk about how you came to even be the executive director at John Hope.
Yeah, sure. Man, it's just, I tell you, first thing is a long time coming. So this August will make it a year since I even initially stepped foot in the building. And same thing with you. I think a lot of people I've met has a story, has a history with John Hope. Me, myself, I went to daycare there.
Oh, okay.
And I graduated from John Hope, so that right there is something extra special. Aside from that, previously I've been in education for 10, 12 years. Outside of that, had the opportunity to come on board. Since coming on board, it's been a journey. A lot of people have been supportive. Mm-hmm. We've been able to really put programs together for the kids, really to support our families. Before this whole COVID, we were serving over 100 families daily. You talk about in our early learning center as well as in our before and after school program.
Wow.
So for me, I was born and raised in Providence, graduated from Hope High School.
Okay.
Graduated from URI. Most recently got my master's from Clark.
So the hope ain't for the hopeless, huh?
Oh, most certainly not.
Okay.
All that's just stigma.
I went to Central, so that's what we used to say.
Central for the mental. But it's been a journey, and I'm quite thankful. We look at everything that's going on nowadays, and we see the importance of having a center that focuses. Our mission is to focus and support African American families.
Okay.
And that's always been a mission since 1929.
Is that when it was open?
That's when it was originally open, correct.
Okay.
And his name, John Hope, so even the man John Hope himself, he was an African American that came from Georgia. He went to school in Worcester, went to Brown University. After graduating, he was a big philanthropist and did a lot of community social services work inside Providence. Inside that direct community.
I like that history. Go ahead.
But John Hope was first on the east side, the building itself. That's where they congregated, and it was first called Crispus Attucks. And a lot of people don't know Crispus Attucks was the first man that was killed in the Boston Massacre, and that's what really started that revolution. So then when John Hope passed away in 1936 and 39, the members, they decided to name the association after him, John Hope Association. Wow. And the building originally was a police station.
Oh, damn, I didn't know that
neither.
neither.
1875. So there's a lot of history, and since then it's been able to grow in a lot of.
Is there cells in there?
No, could have been, but right now there isn't.
Oh, all right. You've been to the
There's
basement?
ghosts in there though.
You been to the basement?
Oh yeah, I gotta go to the basement. I be hearing ghosts, chains dragging across the floors, everything.
Wow. Once again, I'm on. We're talking with Brentford Davis. We're talking with Rodney Newton. Newton. I knew I had it. We're talking with Rodney Newton, and we're just talking to these brothers about what they do and what they think about what's going on today, and also what type of course of action they think that we should be taking to change what's going on. You could call in. You could talk to these brothers. It's 401-400-5002. That's 401-400-5002. Ronnie, I've seen you out there at the protest since the very first one.
Well, no, I didn't make the very first one.
Well, the one I seen you was the 10,000 one. Was that the one you was at?
Nah, you saw me at the Women's March.
The Women's March?
Yeah,
I didn't see you at the 10,000 one? All right.
I had to work that day.
All right, so what are you out there for? Like, what's the reason you're out there?
All right, so as far as protests and rallies, I started back in 2017, the Fight Supremacy one up in Boston.
Okay,
so when I went to that one, that kind of blew my mind. I didn't know what to expect, and I went there. I didn't see a lot of brothers there, which was very disappointing. All right, and I came back. I talked to everybody I knew about it. The reason I keep going to these is because black males are not represented in this fight. And we need to be represented in this fight. This whole movement, all these movements have started in the puddles of black men's blood. And there's no doubt about that.
Okay.
And we have women out there where they're taking the lead, and that needs to stop. They shouldn't have to take the lead. They shouldn't have to bear that weight on their backs because they've been taking the lead since the 80s, since the crack epidemic, since we were locked up. Black men need to step up and need to step up in a major way. And what better way can I do it than to be there? And I have to work sometimes, but I come right from work. From work, not even caring what I'm looking like, because it's not a fashion show, too. Yeah. People got to understand, when you're out there to listen and to learn and to grow. And if black men don't want to show up and speak, you don't have to speak. Just show there, just to be there is enough.
I also believe
absorb.
at the protests you should be networking as much as you can and getting to know some people that are around. Like, these are people that are like-minded people like yourself that think that what's going on is wrong, and they're out there protesting because what's going on in the world is wrong to them. So you might want to meet some people while you're out there.
So me, when I've gone to the protests, my main focus the first couple of times, or the most recent ones, was talking to black women and asking them, what do you feel about us black males not showing up? I want to get their opinion on all that.
What was the answer?
The answer was, it is what it is. They're not chasing us anymore.
Wow.
They're not going to chase us. They said, you know what? We're not chasing you guys out there. You guys know what you should be doing, and we're not doing it anymore. And the last one I went to this past Sunday, yesterday, when I spoke to Brooklyn, a young sister, everybody needs to go out there and follow her. She's a hot ticket. She's on the right path, though. But I even said to her, I was like, you know what? there's no longer. I'm not gonna ask you this anymore about how you feel about us black males not getting there. I said that's on me and that's on us black males to show up. I said I'm gonna make sure I keep showing up and supporting as much as I can. I just hope people start to follow. That's it.
I think you can get some people out there, man. We do have to show up and support these causes as much as we can. When it comes to John Hope, when it comes to what you're doing at John Hope, how are they helping with the fight that we're fighting right now, which is this police brutality fight? Damn, already? Well, let's answer it. Let's see what's going on.
Have to show up and
You're on. You gotta turn it down though. Hello,
Yo, peace, brother Gary.
brother Gary. What's up?
What's going on? What y'all doing? What's happening, brother?
We're just having a talk, man. I got Branford from John Hope, and then I got Rodney who's out here putting in that work, man.
What's going on, brother Gary?
Okay,
What's good, bro?
What's up?
Yeah. I like what he's doing, and I like what he said about the black men stepping up out here, and he hit it right on the money about that.
Okay, what do you think we could do to get more of the brothers out there supporting?
I mean, my thing is this, where, black men supposed to step up no matter what. They can't be in the shadows of women. And that's the problem that, that what we've been doing for years out here. And, women taking the Black Lives Matter, our movement that we really indoctrinated out here in the state of Rhode Island to educate our peoples and how it's important that black men step up instead of, I don't know, like we went to that town meeting a few weeks ago, and it was the same thing over and over. It just happened a couple of times, but again, how can we support each other?
Well,
we need to learn.
Maybe we need to have a black men's town hall. Maybe we need to have a Rhode Island black men's meeting.
A black men's coalition. That's what we need.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that
Black
word.
men's conference.
A coalition, a conference. We need something.
What's going on, man? Let's make it happen.
I'm gonna throw that right to Black Lives Matter, so y'all could get it together.
Well, we gonna get it together. We are Black Lives Matter. We gonna make it happen, and we the original Black Lives Matter. Not no disrespect to the women trying to take the lead way, and like the brother said, that's what this is about. And you know what I'm saying? The reason why we can't hijack the movement, because the movement was based on black men, and now, they're showing the disfigurehead and disrespecting African American men. And it's a lot of that going on here. You know what I'm saying? They're not crediting the brothers who really, start talking about black education, talk about a black hub in Rhode Island. That's what they need to be talking about. Not going and putting black men down. We're supposed to be lifting each other up. It's crazy.
I think
we're the only race that fight with each other, to that level.
I think getting to know, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, getting to know certain people and getting to know what other people are doing and have done is one thing, right. and that's the knowledge of knowing your community. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm right. That's why I got these two brothers here. That's why I've had as many people I have here, so you can know what's going on with certain people, because we all work, and we're all in our bubble, and we all have that 24 hours a day to try to figure out our own life, and everything else that's around us. We might not we might not be bothered with it, but it's something that we need to know somehow. So that's why I'm putting this out here. And they might not watch it today, but as I'm seeing the numbers, there's a couple of thousand to maybe like up to almost 4,000 or 5,000 people watching these. So they're getting that knowledge eventually, and they're gonna be like, oh, that's a dude from John Hope. Let me see if I can get my kid in some sort of program. And I think that's what we need to do. We just need to know who these brothers are. I didn't know that Branford is this young. He's making me feel like I need to go and get some education. This man's running a huge. John Hope isn't small.
Right.
No, not at all.
Right. And like I said to the brothers, you see, I think that we should all be on the same accordion. And this is the problem that in Providence they have this thing where, you know, they're trying to outdo each other. And while the Spanish people are progressing, and we're not. You know what I'm saying? We're fighting each other, putting these things. I mean, we look foolish doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like we do as a black race. You understand? So you can't work in quicksand. It's impossible.
See,
you know
I think that black men.
I'm very upset about our culture of people too. You know what I'm saying? Out here, we're fighting each other while every other race is getting by economically and powerfully, and now sociably. You got women hijacking the movement. You got some of the local people just not understanding what the movement's about. This is about African American people. You understand? This is what this is about. You know what I'm saying, about George Floyd, you know, where, you know, the problem lays, right, the problem lays amongst, you know what I'm saying, among us. That's our biggest hurdle is us as a culture of people. You know, all this discrediting each other, it's crazy. I've never seen nothing like this in my life, bro. Nothing like this, ever.
Well, I think that's where the conversations come in, and that's like I said, that's what we're doing. We're having these conversations. If you say hi and bye to somebody, or you might throw up your head and be like, "What up?" That doesn't get you to know a person. You don't know a person just by doing that.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
By asking questions and knowing what they're doing and seeing what they're doing out here, that's how you get to know somebody. You can't know somebody off of social media either, because of half of the things that people put up,
right,
they be throwing up some bullshit. So I think that this is a way. Once again, when I come all the way back to what I've been saying, it's about us having media taking that and throwing it out to our people so we could get the knowledge.
Right.
That's the only way we can do it.
That's right. That's right. And we need black media. We need black men to step up and start fighting. This one from this side, this one from this town, this one from there. I don't know him. Listen, any black woman or man, if they're not about that life, you know what I'm saying? Count them in. Count every black man in there in the city. You know what I'm saying? Don't work against them.
Yeah. Let me get back to introducing these men and getting their stories out there, and we're gonna highlight you, brother Gary. Thank you for calling up.
Absolutely, thank you, brother.
All right, yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, what were you saying, Bradford?
I was just gonna say, man, I think there's already a lot of people out here, black men, doing it.
Yeah.
I think the thing is that we need to continuously come together and show those that, as Brother Gary say, that aren't coming together, that aren't willing to do it. It takes a few. If we collectively do it consistently and do it every day, those that are on the off side, the left side, they're gonna come along. So I think as black men, we also have to respect our women, because regardless, they're gonna hold us down. They're gonna hold us down. So even if, as his words, hijacking the movement, it's for all of us. Mm-hmm. So it's not one side hijack. So we got to change our mentality and the way we're looking at things. You know, so collectively, there's already people doing it. We need to continuously help them, support them, and move forward.
Yeah, I think we have to figure out who's doing what and help them with that particular part of what they're doing. Like I met James Montero, who's doing the prison reform stuff, and we need to totally be involved with him to get his whole aspect of whatever prison reform is, because I look at things like a core, and then there's branches of that situation, and we need to help him get to those branches, because he might just be at the core, which I'm going to speak to him. I got him coming through, but whatever his branches are, and whatever your branches are with John Hope, there's a core of John Hope, but then there's a lot of branches of helping families out that y'all do. Let's talk about the core. So we know John Hope for camp. We know John Hope for the early childhood, bringing your kids in and dropping them off so you could go to work. But what is the core? What is John Hope's core?
So right now, I think for us, it's continuously doing that. It's building on that because from there we also have it's called we're reopening our food pantry first of all. You know the food security within all the communities, and there's already a lot of families that struggle to put food on the tables.
Yeah.
And we realize that since our food pantry has been closed, that there's a lot of families that are still in need, especially with what we're going through right now in the time that we're living in. Aside from that, really, it's about building and making sure that our youth have a safe space. They need to be able to know that there's a place that they can go to, that they can see people that look like them and encourage them. So for us, it's helping our families to build upon everything that they're doing within their household. We've inserted STEM into our summer learning program. I believe that STEM is a way to really a gateway for our young men and for boys and
explain
girls.
STEM to us.
So STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Yep.
We work with Brown University. Actually, there's a young black man named Arnell Millhouse who has a business called Career Devs. So with that, he's coming in and he's taking a whole platform and having the kids. They're gonna be building rockets, making their own prototypes. So really infusing them and seeing a scientist in them, helping them to really see that regardless whatever community, wherever their living situation is, they can become anything.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of it. I think earlier was talking about how the youth is the future, and the youth is very important, but the youth also need that guidance.
Yes.
And this is part of that escapade and making sure that the youth that in the kindergarten, 8th grade, that they have that. We have to start young. And that's our focus. Before everything, we had a strong African American family program that was doing to help build relationships with single and double parent households and teenagers.
Yep.
Making sure that they have the skills needed parents do to help build those lasting relationships with their young teens. So really just
how are you recruiting these teens? Because I know, like right now, for you to get a kid inside of a building, it has to be tough.
It is. Part of it is the families that already have been in our program. We have a website, so we put everything on our website, johnhope.org. Check it out for upcoming information. We have a Facebook page that we launch everything off of as well. A lot of word of mouth, but once again, the support of media, the support of advertisement is needed. And when you're talking about having a platform, and I think the biggest thing is a platform of black media, that's it. So for instance, right now there's a campaign and a website around called Black Lives Biz. Black, BLVESL, BIZ, blacklivesbiz.com. Okay. And that's just to support local and community black-owned businesses, but it's also a national
Can we pin
directory.
that, by the way? Can we pin that? I'm just talking to...
Yep.
Go ahead.
So that's Black Lives Biz, once again. So same type of platform. We have a platform for businesses that's national, but where anybody can go in and find a directory, a contractor, somebody that's plumbing, and they know that there's a black-owned business. Why can't we do the same thing with media, newspapers, social media, print advertisement? These are things that we don't have, and these are things that we need to have. Talk about financial freedom. We was big on teaching financial literacy and financial management courses. In my opinion, one of the biggest things we have to understand is how to manage our money.
100%. I believe that too.
Trump can give us all the money we want, but if we're not going to build on it and save, we're not going to do it. It's not going to benefit us.
I was having a conversation with Lisa Ranglin on Let's Talk, and she was saying that the black dollar stays in the black community for, I believe it was 6 hours. I believe it was 6 hours.
She said something like that.
Yeah, so we gotta get that together, man. We gotta keep our money in our community. But I mean that also goes with figuring out, like we got that Black Lives Biz up there, who actually owns what and who's doing what.
And that's the major problem. People don't know who owns the black businesses here in Rhode Island.
Yeah, if there are any, I think that's what we need to figure that out. When you're bringing in a new kid into, how do you figure out what programs might fit them? Because I know I'll just give you a quick example. Okay. I went to an all-white school, and they automatically put me on the basketball team. I don't play basketball. So how do you, just by the look, they were like, oh, he plays basketball. How do you know what these kids want to do? Is there some sort of like
part of
paperwork where they're writing down, this is what I want to do, or this is what I might want to do?
So part of our application process is that we have families actually fill that their history out, developmental history, things that their kids may be interested in. But a big part of building relationship is having our youth counselors connect with the kids.
Okay.
And I think that's the biggest thing that anybody can do is actually directly speaking with the youth and see what they're interested in, because you want them to be engaged. In order for them to be engaged, you have to build relationships. Anybody can go and say, okay, I'm going to walk through and play soccer.
Yep.
But you want them to actually get something out of it. So being engaged, building that relationship, and I give a lot of credit to our youth counselors, to our site coordinator for the work that they do.
Who's that?
So our site coordinator is Calvin Jones. We have our youth counselors, Michaela Wilhelm, Gabby Olavinas, Romel, Vargas, and all these people are from Providence, born and raised in Providence.
I like that. I like that.
And they have to see themselves.
I've been saying that about the Providence School Department. We got to start getting some more black teachers from the community to teach our kids, because that teacher from Burrillville, she don't know what the hell she wants to do. I was a teacher's assistant, okay. And when my teacher went on break one time, she ain't never came back. She white lady, she was done. She was done. She didn't understand the black kids. She was always calling me. They called me Mr. Mike. She was like, Mr. Mike, can you please shut them up over there? Mr. Mike, can you do this? Can you do that? She didn't know what the hell. One day she went on break, didn't come back. We're gonna take this call. Let me see who this is. Hello.
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 How are you, Alex?
How are you?
I'm good. There's just a bunch of BS going on this stuff. Lies on top of lies on top of lies.
What's a lie on top of a lie on top of a lie?
What?
What's the lie on top of a lie on top of a lie? What's the lie?
I want to hear about these programs and these counselors and all this other stuff going on, honey.
Oh, we're getting to it. We're getting to it.
I'm listening. It's like, honey, sounds like a real program going on over there.
All right. So, can we get back to it, or you have anything else to say?
I want to know about the actual program that's actually going on up in there.
All right. So we're gonna get to it, and then you could call back.
Okay.
All right, so there you go. The actual programs. How many do we call them students? I don't know what you would call.
So I'll say our youth participants.
Youth participants. How many youth participants do we have?
So right now inside
at John Hope.
At John Hope right now, just understand that with all the regulations, a lot of things have been scaled back. So across all around in summer programs, a lot of numbers have been scaled. But for us right now, we average about 30. And I was saying before, on a daily average, before this whole COVID stuff took place, we had 100 youth we were serving daily.
Okay, and let's address that. So I'm a teenager that comes in the door. What are the programs that you're offering exactly? Like how does it work? Or I'm a dad that's bringing his 16-year-old there because I don't want her on the streets. How will you helping me out with that?
So right now, what we're doing with our Early Learning Center and our school age program is starting for 18 months to 13 years old. We're looking to build and develop youth programs. We actually had a coding program that was doing.
I like that.
This was a drop-in program. Kids were building robots. They were actually working with a program called Splats. They were designing games. And we worked with an organization called Chrysalix Robotics. So that was one of the programs we had. We offered cheerleading. Was just about to get ready to do step, as well as drumming. But once again, this is everything before COVID. So now as we come out of this phase and we come and reopen up, we're looking for this resurgence and have all these programs open back again. But of course, because of the precautionary methods and us dealing with DHS and different regulations, it's going to have to be scaled back.
Yeah.
But we're doing everything from starting a Saturday soccer program. We're doing tumbling. So we want to be able to do the same thing but offer more. And I was saying our African American families program is called Strong African American Families, which was a connection through the CYC Children's Youth Cabinet. And that was really building connections for the youth, for the teens. We connected with CCAP and helping get some teens summer jobs.
Okay.
So there's some teens inside the direct community that have summer jobs that's not at John Hope but through CCAP, Providence themselves.
Do you see the kids like growing up in front of your face? So basically they went to the daycare program and you've seen them go all the way through John Hope. I mean, I know you only been there for 2 years, right?
1 year.
1 year. All right. So
About to be 1 year, but
is that something that happens?
it's a pipeline. So when you talk about the pipeline, when they look at the education system, they say the pipeline to prison. I look at John Hope and see a pipeline to success.
Okay.
You know, and that's what we
I
want
like
to
that.
develop and build. From if we have children from 18 months and we're able to provide them the correct curriculum, the right type of love, show them the right type of nurture and environment, and support the family along the way, those are blueprints for success. You know, despite everything else that may happen, but we want to help build that foundation with them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I want to know why more parents aren't bringing their kids to John Hope. Are you guys full? Is it, or do you have room? I know, and we're talking pre-COVID because we can't really.
We
talk.
have room. You know, we have room. I think a lot of it stems to the past history of John Hope and the stigma that.
Let's get into that.
You know.
Let's get into that. So before you came aboard,
Yep.
what was the past history? Because like I said, I was a camp counselor there, and then I really didn't hear much about John Hope. But when I would drive by, which was weird, it wasn't like groomed.
Correct.
Like it wasn't groomed. It didn't look like it looked like a abandoned building. And I didn't know if it was because I didn't know anybody who actually went to John Hope. But like I said, I would look for John Hope for when I was throwing teen parties back in my day. I was throwing the teen parties there. I was doing the concerts there. I tried to do as much as I can. That's when Toey was there and a bunch of other people. But like I said, like why did it seem, and I could be wrong, but why did it seem as if it was an abandoned building?
Well, I think you spoke upon it. The fact that it wasn't groomed. I think community wasn't coming in. I can't speak too heavily of the past.
Yeah.
I can only speak for when the time I stepped foot in and things that have happened.
I'll give you a better
since then.
question. Was it a mess when you came in? Was it like was everything like a teenager's bedroom? Was everything thrown all over the fucking place? Was it or was it? You know what I'm saying? Like what was it like? What was the
So
climate?
For me, everybody's mess is different.
Yeah.
I'm solution driven.
Okay,
So
I
what's
like
one
it.
person's problem is not my problem because I came in with the fortitude saying I know what I'm getting into, and for things that I don't, it's okay.
Yep.
Because I'm gonna get through it. I'm gonna work with my employees and my staff to build up that culture first because that was the biggest thing that we had to do was first build up the employees' culture and make them feel appreciated, which they didn't.
Okay.
You know,
So
and-
did you keep a lot of the staff that was already there?
Correct.
Okay.
You know, and then from there, it's just constantly building, but slowly interjecting the vision and the things that I've seen, and working with different type of people. You know, and also understanding the mission of John Hope, because I think that's where a lot of people got lost. They don't understand the mission. It's not about self. It's about the people that we serve. It's about the community. So when you put the people first and the mission of the organization, the agency first, everything else should drive through that.
Yeah.
It's not about, oh, I'm here or I'm doing this, because like I tell people, I came in, fortunately, in a great spot because there were two women, Miss Joanne and Vanessa Daly, that were already running the show.
Okay.
And what I came to do is just help provide that guidance and clean things up. You know, so I came in and I gave them great, I continuously do to this day, give them great appreciation because they was holding it down when things were tough.
I knew Miss Joanne was. I don't know Vanessa, but I knew
You know,
Miss Joanne.
so and come with that, it's not about what was going on in the past, it's about where we're going now. You know, and knowing John Hope, so I went to John Hope Daycare. I lived on the west and south side all my life. My family owns a catering company, would always cater there. I went to parties at John Hope, so John Hope's a part of my history. And when I got there was 50 people I ran into within the first 2 weeks that were saying, I'm part of John Hope. John Hope means this to me. So for me, it's a bigger picture, it's bigger than myself and what I'm doing. You know, because everybody, just like your story, and I didn't even know that you was a youth counselor there.
Yeah, yep.
Has some type of relation to John Hope. So it's about now building up this momentum of history and rebranding that. And I'm gonna say this again because you said it, that media, we talk about rebranding, this is something that John Hope needs.
100%.
We need the facelift because things are happening. but also people are not coming in to see. For instance, in February, we did the black market. And the black market is something that we did throughout every Saturday of February. It was to support local and black-owned businesses. We got support from the Rhode Island Commerce Business Corporation. We had about 20 different vendors every single Saturday, between about 50 and 100 people coming in. But
I didn't know about
more.
that.
It should have been more. And it's those type of things.
So, you just put out a press release and random black businesses would come in and sell product? Is that?
So it would be, people will look at it as not a flea market because these are black-owned businesses, but businesses that are not only up-and-coming but established. Everything from jewelry to food to painting to arts and culture. You have people that do couponing, but this is actually their business and how they make money. So we set up in our small gym all around the perimeters. A lot of people would come in, but you're buying things, you're buying food. So it's a small shop.
Wow.
And we want to do the same thing this upcoming August, but outdoors now, and keep it going because the biggest thing is that
you guys got a good outdoors too.
We do.
I've DJ'd a couple of parties out there, like not parties, but like block parties and stuff like that. And I actually think I did like not a flea market thing, but they had different vendors out there at one point in time. I mean, I hate when people say you got to bring them old things back, but sometimes you do have to bring those old things back. And like you said, rebranding them, give them a facelift, and make it a little more modern compared to what it was, so the kids can appreciate it. I think that's something that needs to be done. Me personally, I would hate to see a staple like John Hope get rid of it.
Big time.
How can the community support John Hope? Is it in need of teachers? Is it in need of instructors? Is that something that you're eventually going to be looking for?
We need everything. Money is great, but if you can put your time and come and volunteer, if you can put your time and come help us clean up, if you could put your time and say, I want to run a Saturday program to benefit the youth, come down and do it. I'm the type of person, I'm open. If it's something that's going to benefit the community and it makes sense,
yeah,
let's do it. And it's really, it's that simple. Money is good, but there's nothing like having a direct physical investment.
Yeah.
But what's the easiest way to get in contact with you, though?
Call me 401-451-1865. Come down to John Hope. I'm there just about every single day. Hit us up on our website, johnhope.org. It's really
Is it tireless hours for you?
It is. And for me, the biggest thing is I also have 3 kids.
Oh, family man. All right.
Man, and my youngest one is 9 months. So
oh, wow.
It's taken I had to relearn certain ways. And I credit, and as I say, we have to respect that woman because I credit my wife big time. As I'm out here trying to make a difference, she's home and she has a job too, a really great job at that,
Okay.
And she's that backbone and she's supporting, and she allows me to do what I do, So as I was saying, yes, men, we have to step up, but we also can't forget what's important and who's important. We have to respect our women because they're gonna build us up and be right there along the way with us. It's been difficult, it's been tough, but as I said, it's not a challenge that I wouldn't want to take. If I had a chance to do it again, I'll step in 10 times deep. And it's just that type of, I'm that type of person, but it's that type of challenge. Like you said, who would want to see a building, a place like John Hope be sold to other people, be gentrified?
Yeah, 100%.
And
which right around the corner, that market right there. Boom.
That market. I will say though, Urban Greens, they do a good job at trying to bring in some cultural food, but they could do a lot better. You look at the building right directly behind John Hope. It's supposed to be affordable housing, but it's not.
The building that I think there's a building they just built right next to the green, right?
Exactly.
Oh wow. So it was supposed to be affordable housing, but
it's not.
Okay. Well, something we got to look into. I think we pinned johnhope.org on the chat. So if you want to donate your time or try to find Branford, he said he's there all the time. I look at places like John Hope like this. if it's a staple in the community and it's somewhere that I grew up, Davy Lopes, Southside Boys Club, Southside Rec, those are places that we need, because if I didn't look up to people like Kobe Cedric, people like even I looked at, if you don't have anybody to look up to, where are your role models? You know what I'm saying? Who is your role models? People you see off of TV, who your kids are seeing off of TV. You need people actually in the neighborhood they could touch and talk to, and that's the type of thing I look at. Like Danny Sykes, Mike Holston, these are people that I looked at. Mike Holston was the first person I seen with a business, and that made me want a business. This is a black man who owns a business on Broad Street. That was tough to me. I was like, wow, I need to be. Then he had the Escalade too, so I wanted that. But it was the fact that he had a business, he had a record store. I wanted one, and eventually I ended up getting Cause and Ruckus record store. I ended up getting it. So these are things that I think our kids need to look up to too, and especially putting out there that these are black businesses. So black business. Say it again.
Black Lives Biz.
BlackLivesBiz.org. I mean .com and JohnHope.org. Rodney.
Yes, sir.
Man, oh man. I'm going to give you the hardest question of the night, I think.
Okay.
What do we do to change the things that are going on? When I say things that are going on, we're talking about defunding the police. We're talking about police brutality. We're talking about all these protests. Are the protests enough? Is it too much? Like, what's the change? What we need to do, man?
I'm never going to say that the protests are too much, because we have to protest. And for how many years we've been silently protesting, peaceful protests. So that's why when the heat's turned up, we're going to see changes. But it comes with more than just protesting. Of course, we have to use this messed up political system that we have to get where we want to get. Yeah. I know there's a lot of people out there like, no, I don't want to vote. I'm not doing that. It's the white man's game. Guess what? Sometimes you got to play that game to get where you want to get. We have to. We cannot ignore that. We definitely have to jump on the political side of this. But besides that, we need to be out there every single day just speaking your truths. You have to speak your 100%. Truths to people. You can't sit there and hide and not speak your truth.
I was actually going to change the name of the show to Speak Your Truth. I was going to change the name of the show.
You know?
Quotation on them?
Yeah, I might have to parentheses it. Yeah, so when you're out there and you're seeing that you're one of maybe 10 black men, or I don't know how, because I heard you. I actually heard your comment when you was like, "Where's everybody at? Where y'all at?" Yeah. So, how do you stand up and get some more black men out there? Like, what's your goal with that?
I mean, my goal. So this past one, it was supposed to happen on Friday, but it got rained out and happened on Sunday. So I made a post and I tagged as many as Facebook would let me tag of black men, just ask them to come join me. I didn't want to put them out there. I didn't say you have to respond on the post. Hit me up on the inbox if you want to come join me.
We're gonna take this call.
All right.
Hello.
Brother. Are you bringing me?
What's up?
What it do, brother? Hey, man, it's good. Hey, it's good seeing you guys on there, man. It's good seeing some brothers actually speaking up and actually, being active in this movement. It's just such a necessity. And I caught the last end of what Brother Rodney was saying, and he's 100% right. You need to speak your truth every day. We don't have the manpower to be able to, as a city, I'm saying, we don't have the manpower to be able to protest like the bigger cities. Like my friend, I just came from one, and they're protesting every day at 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock, every day. Every day they have a protest.
I think we should do that.
And so every single day, Monday through Friday, they're protesting. And they're protesting specific buildings, and they're protesting specific locations. So their strategy is way above, because they have the manpower to be able to do it too.
So what? Finish your thought. I can't wait 1 second. Yeah, I can't wait 1 second. Do you think we can't? We got no time. This man has family at home. You got a family at home?
I do have kids.
See, you got kids too. We got kids around here.
You can't say black men don't take care of their children now.
Yeah, we got kids that we got to take care of. So Rodney, do you feel like, and I've had this conversation with a couple of people, do you feel like the support of the white counterparts and the people that may not have, I'm putting quotations on cared, do you see it dwindling?
Yeah, it's definitely dwindling. So you as everybody knows, a couple of weeks ago when the protests were hot and heavy, I saw so many of the white people I know on Facebook and even out in general in public. They're throwing the fist up. They're all about it.
Go ahead.
And now
we'll get back to you, Jeremy.
And now it just seems like it's slowly dying down. But it's not only white people, though. It's not only our allies that are slowing down. It's us as well who are slowing down. You're seeing everybody posting their TikToks and having fun and just acting like they're forgetting about what's going on.
Nothing happened.
It's like nothing happened. Like George Floyd didn't just take his last breath not too long ago. Like Breonna Taylor's murderers aren't still out there breathing every single day free like we're breathing right now. People are acting like this stuff's not happening. That's a problem, though. That's a problem that size. So this is how it always starts. One of us get killed. There's a big uproar. Everyone starts acting like they care. And then all of a sudden, people forget about it. And it's a constant cycle, and it's sickening. I'm tired of this. I'm so tired of it. That's why, again, I bring it back to Brooklyn, because she's out there every day doing something. She's on that grind every day. You may not agree with all the things she says and does. That's okay. But if we're talking about a G check, she gets the check because she's out there doing it every single day. And I feel like a lot of us need to speak more.
Big shout out to Brooklyn, but shout out to Gen Z too.
Oh yeah.
Because
Gen Z for sure.
Those girls, they're about to have a 7-day protest, different cities, which I think is the smartest thing. Here's my thing about protests. You got to make this city uncomfortable. You got to make the state uncomfortable. You cannot protest within their limits. That's not a protest. That's a controlled march. Where protests, you got to make them uncomfortable. You got to make them spend money where they don't want to spend money, so they actually can see that we need some action to whatever their lip service is. We need some action to it. So I commend the girls from Gen Z. They're going to, I'll get the whole schedule, but they're going to a whole bunch of different cities, including Cranston, including places where I was like, oh, wow, she's going there? Like, they're going to 7 cities and doing a 7-day protest. Very smart, very calculated. I like it.
Something like that, we need to be out there supporting, though. Especially some of those cities they're going to, because you know there's going to be some ignorant, white, racist males driving by saying some ignorant stuff. Yep. That's why us black males need, if we have the day off, if we have an hour, 30 minutes, drive out there and support those young sisters. Yeah, so have to do it.
So let's. I think that's something that we should do off camera. They're going to Cumberland High School, July 19th, July 20th, Colt State Park in Bristol, where there's nothing but Trump supporters. They're going to Newport, the Manitomi Park. They're going to Woonsocket, the Mazer Gorey School. I don't know what that is, but they're going to Woonsocket. They're going to Pawtucket City Hall. They're going to Cranston City Hall, and then they're going to be back the 25th in Providence. These young girls are doing it. If you didn't see them, they were on the last Let's Talk, and very smart young ladies, 15 and 16, and they're showing how to get it done. So once again, I do think that this should be a youth-led situation, but I think guidance, that we should throw in our guidance as much as possible, even if they kind of don't want it. You know, your parents used to tell you to clean the room, and you used to be like, yeah, I'll get to it. And until you got smacked in the head, you start cleaning the room. You just got to keep on them until they figure out that your advice is good advice. You know what I mean? So I think that's something that we need to definitely do. I actually asked you a question before we got interrupted, Brentford. What is John Hope doing in the way of Black Lives Matter and everything else that's going on right now?
So with the kids that we have, so for instance, on an after school program or on our day program, we really just been able to talk to them about it. So some of our kids, they did some paintings about it. I Can't Breathe and talked about how they felt. So for us, is creating that safe space and environment where they can have that discourse and that conversation. Outside of that, we're just looking, as I same thing, supporting any organization or people that we can. Big thing is.
I think these girls needed a space to do a couple things. Can they come in, John?
They come on.
All right, I'd like to hear that. So the girls of Gen Z, there goes a space for you. I know that they were looking for space to at least have a couple of meetings and stuff like that. But that's good to know.
Open for me is if they want to come talk to our youth. Let's do it. If they want to have a conference for the local youth in the area, we can build upon it. We can make it happen.
I want to talk real quick about, and when I say real quick, I want to talk real quick about funding. Like, how do you guys get? I don't know. So I'm not trying to be ignorant, but how do you guys get money to fund these programs?
So a lot of the programs that we do right now don't bring in revenue for our other programs, where mainly our revenue comes from our childcare. With DHS, so just like any childcare facility or program, the kids that come in, there's a revenue that's generated from there. Everything else comes from really, well, for our program-wise, we don't generate revenue. We just most recently we got a grant, a DEXA grant, most recently to reopen our food pantry. We most recently got a Rhode Island Foundation grant. So we're improving in terms of the outlook on what the fundraisers look at and the people that want to invest and give money. So we're changing on that scope. But I think with more, it's gonna improve once we add on more programs. We get more people to come into our programs. We need more kids into our facility, into our early learning center, into our school age program. We need the teens to come in so we can develop more programs for them.
So another ignorant question, but I like an ignorant question because it actually you get a chance to learn. Is John Hope based on where you live? Like only people from that area can go to John Hope?
We have families that drive from Pawtucket.
Okay.
To come to John Hope because their kids been there, and our early learners and our teachers are great. They didn't want to take their kids out even though they moved to Pawtucket. We have about 4 families. We have families that live on the east side, the south side, that live on the west. So all over, we're open to all. Right now we're open from 7 and we close at 5 o'clock. You come in and grab an application at any point in time. But as I said, my biggest thing and what we're trying to do is support our families in any means necessary. So if you're talking about food, if you're talking about clothing, we also have a program where we provide diapers, socks, and underclothes to kids and families as well.
So you would accept kids from outside of the inner city, correct?
100% correct. Everybody has something to bring and something to benefit. And it's not just for African American kids at all. We're open to all. That's part of our mission. Primarily rooted in the African American community, but we're also open to all ethnic groups.
I'm gonna help y'all out. We're gonna donate some media time to y'all. Like during these Let's Talk, so we can have a break and we can have a commercial with John Hope and enrollment and everything like that.
We appreciate that.
We would definitely do that.
Can people donate right to the website?
Yes, they can.
Because I have a lot of people hitting me up asking me where they should donate money. First of all, I'm no leader, so I'm not going to tell anybody how to spend their money. But now that I know people can donate to
you are a leader.
John Hope,
you are a leader.
Then I'm going to go ahead and tell them that.
You 100% are a leader because when you're out there and then you're recording what you're doing and also putting it up and people are watching that, they know what you just said earlier. You're not out here making TikToks and things like that. You're out there really fighting for a cause.
I actually did start a TikTok. but what I started, though, everything is towards the movement, though.
Okay.
Every post is towards the movement.
You are a leader, man. You don't have to say you're not a leader because you are. You wouldn't even be up here if you wasn't.
Okay, I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, so... Wow, I like talk. One thing I'm amazed by both these brothers because they're out doing that work, man. They are out doing the work, and you may not have even known Branford and what he looked like. Honestly, I know I met you But I'm just saying, like, I didn't know that you were the leader behind this whole John Hope situation, and it makes me feel good because you're young, you're ready to go, you're motivated, and you're really about these kids, and that's dope.
And you're not what's typically and stereotypically in that role in that field, because you know that role typically is middle-aged white
that's
women.
That's more of what I was saying. Yes.
Me seeing you, because I worked in that field, so me seeing you in that position, brother, let me tell you, that does something for me.
And then I give kudos to Miss Williams, Miss Jamila those are part of the people in terms of hiring, and I give kudos because they seen something in me and what I could do in terms of helping gravitate John Hope. My respects will always go out to them in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, man, if you have anything else to say, go ahead. Let it fly, brother.
For me, I think it's really just for everybody, understand your purpose, understand why you're here. And I mentioned some of that in terms of me, the reason why I chose to go to John Hope and even apply and take the position and work so hard is because I have a purpose. And when you understand your purpose, you're going to move and you're going to wake up differently. Regardless of the situation that you have been through or the situations you're going through, there's always a bright light and always a better day ahead. We can't let the situations or societies put us in a box. You have to stay open-minded. You always got to propel higher than you think, So we got to change our mental capacity as individuals, as a collective unit, as family. Our men, we got to unite. Stay strong, get together. We're gonna come up with something. This is not gonna be the end. We're gonna hopefully have that conference where all the black men can come together because we need to. We only move in numbers.
Probably do it at John Hope.
And we can. And just like a fist is much stronger than a flat open hand. So when we move as one, that's the only way we're gonna truly be able to break barriers and to continuously support the youth because they need the guidance. Like I said, in the civil rights, it was in the same escapade. It was the youth that really broke ground, but it was the nonviolent leaders that was able to guide them through and help them out. And it was very funny because it was a DJ. I forgot the DJ Bucknar. I forgot his name, but it was a DJ during that time where he would put on a certain record, and the kids can hear it from the schoolyard, and it would come out, and that's when they know it was ready to march. So when we talk about the importance of DJ, the importance of media, this is all part of it. So not only do we need to invest in ourselves, not only do we need to invest in our education system, but we also need to invest in our media outlets.
The revolution will not be televised, but it will be streamed live.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what it is.
100%. Any other words you want to speak, Ryan?
I just want everybody to get out there and just keep pushing, man. Just let it know, like, this is not die down. This isn't going to blow over. We're going to be out there every single day reminding people what happened and how it's not okay and it's not going to happen anymore. We got to put the pressure on. When you see those things online, too, to call a certain place, to put pressure on politicians, make a phone call. It takes 2 seconds. Why not? Send a text message. Like, why not? Like, you're going to spend all the time doing whatever you want to do. Take that energy and put it towards the right place, man. I mean, my last words I just want to say is, I just wish that all of us brothers can unite, no matter if you're from Warwick, Providence, Barrington, Cranston. Like, yo, black men all around Rhode Island, man, for real. Like, let's all step up and let's get together and run this city and run this state like we 100%.
I wanna add on and just get out of here by saying, let's stop not congratulating our kids for getting them straight A's and getting good grades and doing all that, and let's push them towards. I know I love our basketball players, our football players, but I need to see some police officers. I need to see some state troopers. I need to see some politicians because that's where we're at right now. I would love to support. The mayor's about to leave. The governor's about to leave. I would love to support a black mayor, a black governor, a black rep, any black politician. I'm ready to support all that. I want to make sure that we support all that. My media, whatever I have as a platform, supports all that. That's why you're meeting these people that possibly could be whatever they want to be later on in life, so or their kids could be whatever they want to be because they're great people. So I'm introducing you to these people, but let's support our kids and push them towards being that politician or that police officer or that something else. You don't just have to put a basketball in their hands. My kids, they're not about the basketball football life. They're about the computer nurse life. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm pushing them towards. But that's about it, man.
Thank you, Rob.
We're gonna meet, we're gonna educate, and we're gonna push towards the future. So I want to thank everybody for watching. If you want to watch other episodes, you could just go to Vimeo. I think it's linked up there somewhere. It's Vimeo, and you put the Juice 89.9 in, and you'll see every Let's Talk and a couple of DJs things I did. And the Let's Talk for Thursday, Anastasia Williams will be back. Rep Williams will be back. And I think who's coming, there's a young lady coming from Black Lives Matter. Should be a very interesting show. So make sure you tune in for that. And then I got James Montero. I'm trying to grab Wamsetta and Shondell Burney. So these are people that we're looking forward to bringing on. I got another young lady. Her name is Leslie. She's coming. She owns about a young black lady. Yeah. Leslie Moore. She's coming, and she owns like 3 or 4 buildings in Pawtucket, and we just want to know what her secret is. And I want to give you her secret, because if we don't pass these things down, we will never know. You know what I'm saying? Don't hold that information in. Any young black person that comes up to me and says, I want to learn how to DJ, I'm going to tell you how tough it is. I'm going to tell you what I went through, but I can show you how to do it if you're willing to learn. And I've done that over and over and over and over again. I can't explain how many times. Some of your favorite DJs are actually my old students. But with that being said, pass that information on to whatever generation you can, whatever information you got, especially that financial information. And, man, let's be great, man. That's it. Have a good night. Get home safe. I want to thank these 2 brothers for coming through. It's kind of late, I know, but we're going to get this out there and make sure it happens. Appreciate y'all. Have a good night.